All right, so I just got in from running a few errands, one of which was I went to the print shop and picked up some things today. It's Christmas Eve over here, and yeah, had a bit of a busy morning. Haven't actually eaten breakfast yet, and it's like, about 1 p.m. over here at the time that I'm recording this, or near to it. But I will do that right after this video. I just, again, like I just got in from being out. I didn't eat this morning because I had a dentist appointment. Even if you brush and floss afterward, I don't know about anybody else. I just feel kind of weird. I'm worried they're gonna find something that. So I haven't eaten since last night, but again, feeling just better today than I have in weeks. For reasons aforementioned, I think in some videos and elsewhere, and so I just wanted to get around because I was able to. So one of the things that I did was I went to the print shop, but just before that, I'm going to show this one here first because it's entirely unrelated. So this is a non-hockey game. This is a Splendor, which in Korean is Splendor, so it's the same basically. And this is an example of a really good board game. I've been thinking about getting it for like a year actually. I actually only played it once and it was like a year ago and loved it so much and have thought about getting it ever since. Today I finally caved and I thought, Merry Christmas to me, Merry Christmas to us. So got the game Splendor. Again, it has nothing at all to do with hockey, but it is a really good board game. And I will say this for it as well. As somebody who's an aspiring designer or whatever, aspiring to design his own hockey games, sometimes I looked at really, really good, really well designed board games that may have absolutely nothing to do with hockey, but just mechanically are really, really fun and well thought out board games. And I would consider this to be one of them. So I'm not going to take off the plastic and go through the components or the pieces. That's getting a little too far beyond hockey. This channel is Hockey Unreal after all, but my wife is pretty. We're pretty avid. Might be a bit too strong of a word, but we're quite enthused about board gaming. When we get around to it, we have a handful of board games, I guess, now in our collection. And she doesn't. So she doesn't like the sports simulation games. She doesn't like anything like this. She will occasionally help me play test something, and she seemed to genuinely enjoyed, and if dare I say been impressed by, maybe she's just being nice, but some stuff that we've gone through together. But in general, yeah, when I play with her, and I do really enjoy as well just playing some board games that have nothing at all to do with hockey. I'm a bit of a chess geek also. I'll throw that in there for what it's worth. Not saying that I'm a great chess player or anything, but definitely a chess geek. But anyway, I only took just a surface glance at this stuff. It's snaining or rowing outside. It's half snow, half rain. It's hovering right around zero, the temperature, and it's leaning towards snow though at this point, I think. But so I wanted to get I didn't, I just wanted to get this stuff tucked away in my bag and just quickly get home. I was on foot. So the first few pages that we're looking at here are stickers, and these are for these are the teams from the 1978 World Hockey Association (WHA) a season. Some of these logos, of course, pretty familiar. You have the Winnipeg Jets. They, of course, had pretty much the exact same logo through the 80s in the NHL, and I believe even into the early 90s. Edmonton, really, their logo has not changed a whole lot in decades, and it was the Edmonton Oilers at this point and not the Alberta Oilers. The Quebec Nordiques, of course, you recognize what's in the center of that circle, if not what's outside of it. The Indianapolis Racers, technically Wayne Gretzky's first professional hockey team, although this is the 78 season, so this does predate Gretzky by a single season. So there will be no me making a donkey's cousin of myself coming on, just getting kind of a weird mood and talking about Gretzky being in a video on this channel. Houston Aeros, of course, although the Hows at this point had migrated to New England. This is the Birmingham Bulls. I like that logo there, the Birmingham Bulls. Cincinnati Stingers is pretty cool as well. I think in 78, and I was saying this actually to the gentleman who I had designed this season for one of his games, I think that this was probably the strongest and most well organized World Hockey Association season of all of their seasons, and so much so that actually that season as well, they did have teams of Soviet and Czech all-stars. Maybe they didn't send all of their absolute best, but I'm pretty sure those were some pretty stellar Soviet and Czech teams in the 70s, both of which had losing records against World Hockey Association teams that season in only 8 games, but still. And also in the mid to late 70s, though the NHL never put up Montreal and some of their best teams, the World Hockey Association technically has a winning record in exhibition games in interleague play with the National Hockey League from back in the 70s. So just a couple interesting tidbits there. I had this book that I've since given away called, I always fudge the title. It's either Big Bucks and Blue Pucks or vice versa by Murray Craig. And it's an interesting look, the scope, the entire World Hockey Association history. I actually gave it away to the hockey guy. Anyway, and he's since made some World Hockey Association videos about it as well. So these are stickers. Actually, I'm not even quite sure what I'm going to put them on. I was just feeling like getting some stickers printed, and so who knows? I might decorate my wife's one of our lamps or something with those. Probably not though. These here, I might actually, once I cut out and cut up the team cards, I might actually I'm thinking about putting these stickers on the other sides of the team cards, or I might just cut them out and use them as logos similar to what I have here for the 63. And of course, now that I want to show them, right, they're tucked underneath everything. But like for the 63, I had sort of this in mind, like what I have there, like there's the Canucks and the Stampeders for the 63 Western Hockey League. But again, they were all part of one file, so I went, sure, just print all of these pages in this document in sticker paper, only a few pages. So these are technically stickers that I can cut out and adhere maybe to possibly the team cards. And then I got the World Hockey Association logo in a few different sizes there. And then I got some minis. And what I'm hoping I can do with the mini ones, I'm really hoping that I got the size approximately correct. I think I did now that I have a closer look here. So I think what I can do is I can cut out these cards and have these logos kind of in the corner, say right about there, right about here on the card. Some for each of the WHA teams. Yes, call it immersion. And again, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with this ginormous World Hockey Association WHA sticker, but I'll figure it out. A few different sizes there. So these are the teams, and this is the game Deck of Cards Hockey. I had these made by Michael Mitchell himself, and he has permitted me to share them. So my upload limit on Delphi, maybe I should not be such a cheapskate. Maybe I should pay for Delphi Premium. Sorry if you watch this and you're here from Delphi and why don't you get Premium? I haven't yet. I'm not going to pay. As much as I like Delphi, it reminds me of the internet in the 90s. Anyway, it's fine. It's fine, though. I use it a lot. But my point that I'm making here, my convoluted point or my short story long point, is that I can't upload PDFs on Delphi. So I'm not. It's not that I want to, not trying to make you email me. But if you want to get these files from me, that's really the only way that I can think of to share them. Although I'm going to ask somebody about that. I think there might be something else I can do as well to make them publicly available. But I will say this, though I've been permitted to share these, again, this is my personal opinion now. I really think, I really like supporting Michael. I think that he does a fantastic job creating these. And so I have absolutely no problem, as I told him, footing the bill and sharing these with some other people. But I would encourage you, now this is the 77 WHA season. If there is another season that you want, be it NHL, WHA, or anything that if you present it to him, he will let you know whether or not he can find sufficient data in order to generate the cards and the teams and the players. Because one time, actually, I wanted him to make a season for me, but he didn't have enough information for it. And so he could have just fudged the cards and taken my money, but he was nice and honest enough to say, look, I can't do this. I don't have sufficient data in order to do this season. So what I'm trying to say here, again, short story long, is I absolutely have no problem sharing these, take them, enjoy them, do whatever. But please consider, especially if you want another season that is not made yet, one option that you have would be to contact Michael. I'll leave his information, how to get in touch with him and support him. He does them at what I consider to be a very reasonable and fair rate, especially for all the enjoyment that I get out of these. I've played hundreds of games now with teams that have been, teams that have been designed by Michael with this game. And so, that's just something that, that I strongly encourage. A thought that I had actually as I was getting ready to do this video, which basically means I was coming inside and taking my shoes off and whatnot, is that it's kind of like this, because I understand as well, there's a gentleman, I think his name is, I think it's a gentleman. Again, I can't be certain, it's on Delphi. But there's someone on Delphi who goes by, I think, the username SimCityYT, who has actually there's a team, season creator generator that you can do for deck of cards hockey, I mean, which I also think is fantastic. I think it's excellent to have both options. You can go the homemade route, or you can go, again, the Michael Mitchell route. It's kind of like the difference between, if you want to eat something, making it for yourself, making it the way you like it and so on, customizing it for yourself, versus going to a restaurant and getting somebody, and somebody who's experienced at making that to make it. And this is a game that Michael Mitchell has developed from Craig Tile. I should mention, shout out to Craig Tile. If you ever see or hear anything like this, definitely, you deserve the credit for and I'm sure Michael would agree, I know he does, for having generated this game initially, for creating this game. But I think that Michael's kind of, taking it upon himself, upon his shoulders or whatever, to keep it going over that time. So anyway, the final thing I guess that I want to show here, again, I've got the little stickers that I want to put on the team cards. I also have this here rink, and I'm of the opinion that this print shop, I mean, the stickers are nice. They even warned me. They zoomed in and they showed me. They're like, when we blow this up, this might not look as nice. And I said, it's okay. I'm quite easy to please. I just want it done. I'm of the opinion they did an absolutely fantastic bang up job on this. So I wanted to show that off as well. I'm very sorry that I'm living in an area of the world where I have a fantastic neighborhood print shop, and hopefully you have an excellent print shop in your neighborhood as well. And again, it's the same thing. You can use your own printer, and you can do it yourself and everything like that. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. I feel like I've overused that word in this video, but you know what I mean. I mean it no less, even if I've used it multiple times. Or you can go and hand it over and put it in the hands of people who have more experience printing. This print shop I'm actually fortunate that they do stuff like this for me, because I've seen some other stuff that they do other stuff in bulk and mass, and some pretty professional looking bound and coiled, books and whatnot that they supply to schools and who knows, maybe even stores and stuff like that as well. I don't know the exacts, but so I'm just really, really fortunate to have that within comfortable walking distance, especially today where I've been feeling better. And I'm really, really pleased with this, selfishly or whatever, here on Christmas Eve. So it's, again, between this rink for immersion's sake, and these cards, which I will cut out. And I think once I cut them out, again, I think in the upper right hand corner of each of the cards here, I can put that's the Whalers. I can put like the Whalers sticker right there, and Jets I think can go like right over here, and so on, and Nordiques, it should be able to fit in there. And so I'm really looking forward to doing that now. And I know that I have multiple projects in the go too. Another thought that I had earlier was, I think after a couple of years, maybe 2 years and some change, this whole MGD thing, multiple gaming disorder, it's finally overtaken me, I think, to an extent, to a point. I think that for the longest time, I used to. I still don't. I still don't think of myself as someone who stockpiles seasons. If I get a season for a game, and not that I think that there's anything wrong at all with stockpiling seasons. There's no right or wrong way to do this, and I can certainly see if you have those seasons stored away. It's nice that when you decide that you want to play them, they're already there. You don't have to actively go out and get them like I do. I get a project in mind, and then I decide to go and pursue it. And so some people on Delphi, I think in the penalty box, were asking about World Hockey Associations for DoC hockey. I contacted Michael. I looked at all the WHA seasons. I decided that 78 would be the best one. Now, I should add as well, for sticklers, for hockey enthusiasts, for purists. Hopefully there are a few of you out there. If you're taking time with this, that'd be great. I don't have the Russian and the Soviet and Czech all-star teams, and the reason why I actually asked Michael not to bother doing them. They only played 8 games on the schedule, so sorry if you're a stickler for a granular replay and you want to include those 8 games with these respective teams or whatever. But I know that from what very little I know about the DoC engine, 8 games is just not really sufficient data to produce these cards, at least to produce them and do it well. So I like, DoC hockey, the way that Michael does them, and they come forward to a sheet, and I thought, let's leave it at the even eight. So what I'm going to do, I'm definitely doing a World Hockey Association season. I want to say that I'm going to be prim and proper and wait until after I've completed some other hockey gaming projects in order to get going on this. However, it's going to be pretty tempting not to get started on this one. And I think what I will do at that time, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do sort of what PJet, aka Seals Fan 1 over in Delphi, what he has talked about before. He sets up schedules or seasons almost kind of like in increments where like he can play say 78 games or he can pull the plug after 50 or 55 or 40 or something like that. So working out the number, the World Hockey Association just had one division that season. It was a nice, tight, neat, compact, organized, and pretty talented league at this point. You had some veterans hanging on who were still good. And then they had, if anything, a greater influx of European talent in the league than did the NHL at that time. So this was a really, this is good, quality hockey. And it would have been interesting had the World Hockey Association, I don't know, six of one, half dozen of the other. They had Gretzky, Messier, and Gartner, but then also they lost, like Winnipeg lost Nilsson and Hedberg to the New York Rangers. So hard to say. Sometimes I've thought about that, like, well, if the World Hockey Association had gone on in the '80s with Gretzky and Gartner, and who knows, they probably would have defected sooner or later. Went to the NHL. But I don't know, where was I going with all of this? Obviously, I'm just kind of waxing passionately about this project. But yeah, I fear that maybe finally after a couple of years, maybe the MGD to an extent, even though again it's all hockey, and more hockey, it might have overtaken me. So I might wait until a little later on Christmas Eve to upload this. I also have something for Hockey Bones to upload. So I made multiple videos yesterday. That's me talking to paper for like an hour. This is me talking to some paper for nearly 20 minutes. But again, just give you another look, because I guess these, to be on camera, this is this is the information, so maybe that's interesting. But of course, it's not aesthetically speaking, not as attractive, I guess, as the logos here. So again, these are all stickers. These were all printed on sticker paper, and so I'll probably make a point to repeat this when it. What am I trying to say here? When I actually put the stickers on the cards and I'm playing with them, but it's yeah, those are things that I'm adding to the cards, so they don't come that way, I guess is what I'm saying here. Anyway, so as always, anytime, any consideration that you give to anything like this, I'm just very happy to get on camera, do a little. I'm going to call it a show and tell. It's not an unboxing, okay? I certainly, it's fun, it's exciting to share stuff like this on camera. And if I'm not alone, if anybody else gets anything out of anything like this, then that's just icing on the cake. And it goes without saying that right now, especially over the holiday season, I would like to think this way at any time. I'm an advocate. I like how Al Red Sox fan toward the end of his videos, he'll, without exception, always say treat people the way you want to be treated. But especially at this time of year, I think that certain things where it's ups and downs can impact people a little more maybe than normal. I think it's really important to keep that in mind. And so when I say, stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe and warm over the holiday season, it's not just over the holiday season. Obviously, I hope that for any time, but definitely this is the time of year where something like that can become a little more impactful. So anyway, definitely enough out of me, more than enough out of me for the time being. Now it's time for me to have that post 1 p.m. breakfast. So anyways, cheers, thanks, and bye for now.